What's up? Do you enjoy watching somebody miserably slave away at their project cars as they're trying to get that sweet, sweet satisfaction of a rags to riches build? Well, let's be honest. We all do. Kind of like one of these guys over here. Or maybe one of these Johns is more up your speed. Well, if that's the case, you're in the right place. So last video on the abandoned 300ZX, we got the engine bay totally stripped down, degreased, power washed, cleaned to a nice, satisfactory, clean level. Mwah. Did you see those crevices? They're filthy. This episode, we'll be doing some prep work like rust removal, seam sealer fixing, or fixing some sealer, like where it gets baked and all that, rust conversion, as well as some sanding and priming to get this thing ready for paint. So basically, today, we're doing prep work. Actual prep work. Without any further ado, let's get to work. So, what is happened here is this is the brake booster side. We've got this seam here where the metals come together, and I believe probably the brake fluid has gotten trapped into the seam sealer and gotten in here, and it's gotten a little rotty. So, the plan is clean it out as much as we can, and then for what we can't get into, for especially this area, like right here, I probably won't be able to get all the way into the seam, so we will just go and hit it with some inhibitor, and we'll be Gucci after that. It's not terrible, but it's not exactly what you want, so don't want to be painting over it. Got to clean it up, hit it with an inhibitor, and then we will be all good to go. Get back to me. So for the most part, it's looking like seam sealer. I got all the brittle stuff up, so that's what I'm most worried about. So now we're gonna work on knocking out this rust area. It's a bunch of surface rust, it's not that big of a deal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a 220 pad and just chop it down, get it roughed up, and then everything else will be a 320. Let's get to it. New plan. I'm gonna go ahead and sand down all the easy areas first, because, well, I don't want to go to bare metal overnight and then have more surface rust to buzz off. So we're gonna just do all the easy areas. We're not gonna do the nooks and crannies. We'll do those tomorrow. Buzz this stuff down. So, tried a little bit of the machine sander. It's a little too aggressive for all this, and it comes out really easy. So we're going to a hand sand. Just do it really quick, get the majority here done, and then we'll do the finishing touches tomorrow. So let's get a slapping about on it. As you can see, this is just going straight. to the epoxy coat or whatever was under there. Pad that I'm working with in my hand is about a equivalent of a 240. Again, the 240 Super Silix sandpaper. You're going to go ahead and scuff this up. Try and blend out these scratches. Back with the last day it should be of getting the engine bay prepped. So I'm just gonna get right into it. No sugar coating. What we need to do is get the surface rust all off this guy down there and get this seam all cleaned out, and then we'll probably wire wheel it, slap a little rust converter in there, and then do the same with inside here. If I can fit a little wire wheel, we'll get that done, and then we should be jamming. So let's get cranking. So I went ahead and did the rust remover and converter on the seal there where I cannot sand. Used this stuff, Master Coat True Cure. Seems to be doing a pretty darn good job. Now, I made the boo-boo and didn't think about it, is this does a primed, like the surface becomes a primed conversion, or the surface becomes primed. And so, as you can see here, it's got like this coating and residue. So I was sanding away, not really thinking about it at all. And I got all the sand in the new coating top coat. So it also says once you let it dry, if you want a smooth finish for a better finish, you can go ahead and wipe it. So we'll be wiping it, but I did the same thing on this rail and then did it over there. Note to self, if you've had areas that have leaked and you use this stuff on it, it will bubble the paint because it is not strong. I don't know, I don't have a good explanation, but if it has been compromised paint before, it seems to bubble quite a bit. So it becomes a problem. I had the same thing, I did the same thing over here, but this paint isn't really too much of an issue in comparison to the paint over there. And that stuff's obviously the most worse for wear for paint issues. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to re-wipe it, let it dry, and then I'm going to hit it with some little primer just to get a coat on there. And once we get the coat on there, then we can just go, we'll probably have to scuff the primed areas, and then we can seal the entire bay. So that's the plan. I'm going to get after it, and I'll update you after that. So yesterday we ran into some issues with the True Cure. I found out that it's not really, if you're gonna paint same day, it might or might not work out for you. I had the issues with it, obviously first time using it, so I might be using it wrong. But we had some issues where I did this a few times, knocked it down and whatnot, but we're fighting some little blisters from where the True Cure was in this area, as well as here, and on the seam. It sealed it and it converted it correctly, but obviously it was not drying correctly before we were shooting, so we were running into that issue. Second issue is I thought that I had good seam sealer. The seam sealer is not good. I don't know. I'm skeptical of it. Because it's not cured in the middle for sure. For sure not cured in the middle. Definitely not that one. So we're gonna have to, I'm gonna cut that off and then redo it. I bought a new tube of seam sealer. That stuff is freaking expensive now. It's like 40 bucks a sleeve, a cock, a whatever. 40 bucks a cock. I'm not going there. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off and we're gonna redo it. Gonna slam that out and then we will get to prepping to paint because that's all that's left. Let's get after it. Document this one is apparently with this stuff you need to make sure that it gets really dry. I don't know how to dry it in these cracks and crevices because that's how we use it, is to get into the seams to do the conversion. This is still kind of gummy, so like I just did a few passes of sanding and it's like clumping on the pad more than anything. So It's still gummy and it's not like a sandable in this state. And this is not exactly the start I wanted for today. But we're gonna have to remedy this. This area sanded just fine, which is odd because it kind of had the same look here, but like maybe you can hear it. Like this is like sticky, whereas this is smooth and dry. So figured I'd point that out for when using, if you decide to use that True Cure rust converter. And then of course I have that size to deal with still. Fun.
Alright, so I'm finding some microphone issues here, so we'll do a quick dub over here. Just finished up some sanding in the corner. Have everything prepped up. We'll give it a quick wash, give it another scuff, tape it up, lay some seam sealer down, let that cure, and then hit it with some more primer. And that should be all she wrote.
We are all primed up and ready to go get sealed and painted. So we've got all the bare metal, the big bare metal spots hit with filler primer, and you can see it is finally not a whole bunch of polka dots. So we're good on this area. Now all that's left is going to be just wrapping up, taping up the engine bay so we're ready to just spray and not make a whole giant mess. So I'm gonna leave that boring stuff out, but for this one, I'm gonna call it good. And then we'll move on to painting the bay, which we'll just pick up here shortly. So thank you for watching. Stay rad.